Hey guys, it's your man Blue Rap, and I decided I would have a discussion video about the amazing D23 Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer that we saw the other day. First and foremost, I want to say I enjoyed the fact of how long it was. It was a solid 5-minute trailer, but I didn't like the fact that it didn't really discuss all the new things. It only just talked about Toy Story and a little bit of Olympus. I did like the fact that we're finally getting Toy Story, but I wish they kind of talked about Big Hero 6 because we've only seen concept art about that world so far, and that's pretty much it. I think we've seen 2 or 3 images and nothing else. We don't know anything about the Keyblade for that world or what the drive form for that Keyblade is, because so far each Keyblade seems to have its own drive form, which is part of the discussion first and foremost. That's what I want to talk about right now. One thing I've noticed is that each world has its own Keyblade, and each Keyblade comes with its own drive form. So does that mean in order to access the drive forms that you have to have that Keyblade equipped, and if you want to have a different drive form you have to wait until you're out of battle and switch Keyblades up? Or is there going to be something in there like how the drive forms were before, where you switch between Keyblades, or not switch between Keyblades, but you access the form, but in this case you switch between the Keyblades? One thing I thought would be really cool, and I don't know if they're going to do this or if anyone else thought of this, if the Keyblades level up. And by this I mean, so the more you use it, the stronger the stats for that Keyblade becomes, until it eventually becomes the max stat. Now, whether that means the Keyblade is, all the Keyblades are going to be the same strength, or some are going to be more stronger than others, but eventually you have to build them up to that point. The reason why I think of this is because, say if you want to have the counter guard form, which is with the Olympus Keyblade, but that's not really a strong Keyblade, you don't really want to switch to it just to have that counter guard form. So I feel like it'd be better if you level up the Keyblades and they all pretty much start out as somewhat weak and then you build them up. To me, that'd be a lot of fun, because it's kind of like Unchained Union Cross, as it's called now. Because the Keyblade, you level it up and eventually it will change, but the stats get better and better as you level it up. And that would also be really cool if, say for instance, you don't really get those abilities or that final move until you maxed out the level up, or you get the level up to a certain point. That would be really fun to me. So say for instance in the new trailer where Sora has that cactus Keyblade and then all of a sudden turns into a hammer. That's like the first level. And then like the next one he gets the claw, and then like the next one after that he gets the finishing move. That to me would be a lot of fun. What's your guys' opinion on this? Because I honestly think that's fun for me. To others, they'd be like, no, that's stupid. That's really stupid. Yeah. Next thing I want to talk about are the worlds. Now, we do know that there's going to be Tangled, which we have seen a little bit of, Olympus, which we've seen a lot of, and we've also seen Toy Story, which we just saw, but we haven't seen a lot from Big Hero 6. Those are 4 worlds that we know of so far that are confirmed. Now, I know a lot of people are saying they want Frozen in it, but it's relatively new to me. So I feel like that there's other worlds or stories that can be told before that one. Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't make a good world to have. I just feel like they need to wait on it. And that being said, I do feel as if Moana would be a good world, because they are already traveling around kind of like how they would in Destiny Island, I guess. Because if you think about it, Sora and the gang was about to go on a raft and leave their island just like Moana's doing. But in this one, they would already be dealing with creatures and whatnot, trying to attack them to take the heart of, I don't know how to say the word, so I'm not going to like butcher it, but you know what I'm talking about. But just like Frozen, I feel like Moana is a little new. I wouldn't go towards it. Maybe in the next game, though I feel like the next game after this one is going to be a huge gap, because they're going to try to figure out what they want to do, because this is supposed to be the end of the Xehanort saga. So what are they going to do as the enemy? Are they still going to have Heartless? Because yes, those are the iconic enemies, but who's going to be the main antagonist in this story? Because they did say Sora's story is not over yet, it's just the end of Xehanort's story. But I really want to know why we haven't seen much from Big Hero 6. But we've only seen concept art, like I said before, and I'd really like to see what the world for it is going to look like, because that'd be really cool to see Sora interact with cars, because I don't think he's ever been to a world where there's vehicles. And I say that because one of the big scenes in Big Hero 6 was them trying to get away in a vehicle, and I feel like this would be like he would have to interact with cars somehow. That'd be really, really cool. Yes, Tron had those bikes and whatnot, but that's about it. But there are a few worlds I would like to see, because they haven't really announced the definite worlds that are going to be in the game. I would love Treasure Planet. I feel like this would be a perfect world because of the fact that they're already in space and traveling around to find this great planet full of treasure. It would be perfect. It would fit in so well. Another one that I'd be fond of, but I can kind of understand that they don't put it in there, is Gargoyles. It's the TV show where literally at night they come alive and they fly around the sky. I feel like that would be a good world, but I can kind of understand how people would be a little against it, because it was a little bit of a dark TV show growing up. Another perfect one though would be Sword in the Stone, I believe is what it's called, the one where Merlin helps Arthur become the king he's meant to be. And I feel like that'd be perfect, because we've seen Merlin in each game, or at least the number of games, like Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2. I feel like it would be really cool to give Merlin his world back and see how he interacts with it. I would have a lot of fun with that. Now, the enemies in it would be kind of complicated, but it'd be cool to see Sora trying to teach somebody how to use a sword. Though technically the Keyblade's not a sword, but it is a sword. I don't know. You know, it's one of those complicated things. The last one I'm going to talk about is Princess and the Frog. It is that one in New Orleans where instead of, when she kisses the frog, instead of him turning into a prince, she turns into a frog with him. I feel like that'd be really, really good, because I don't remember the character's name, but the main antagonist, the voodoo guy, he literally, that would be a perfect villain. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Hades, and also a little bit of Oogie Boogie from Halloween Town. I feel like that would be a really, really great world for us to have. Like, that would be a lot of fun, and it's dark, but it's also kid friendly. So what do you guys think? What worlds would you guys really like to see? Let me know in the comments below, because I honestly would love to hear people's ideas on what would be good or bad, because I know a lot of people will probably say Atlantis, they're done with it. They don't want any more Little Mermaids, especially after that little singing game they had in Kingdom Hearts 2. The last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is the fact of how open the world felt, because not only did Sora and the gang, which, if you noticed, Woody and Buzz were with them, including Donald and Goofy, which means we're going to have more people in our group, which I really, really enjoy. But the one thing I noticed is that they were on the roof, and then they transitioned from the roof to the sidewalk, which I was like, yo, that's so cool, because it honestly looked like it was a different part of the map. Like, it was not something you can access without like going through a loading screen or something. And one thing I did notice is that there was a trampoline so that you can get back onto the roof, which, you know, it was kind of weird, but you know, I guess that's one way to do it. But I really enjoyed the fact of how open it felt, because a lot of the times in the games, they put up walls and stuff there so that you cannot get past certain places, and it felt like as if they were inviting you to explore, which is really, really new for a Kingdom Hearts game. And I honestly cannot wait to try it out to see how far I can go. And if you also notice, there was a lot, and I do mean a lot, of Heartless in the general area, which encourages you to go and like maneuver around a little bit because of the fact that open space and lots of them. The one thing I always hated, especially in the first one, if you ventured too far, the Heartless would disappear, and then when you tried going back for them, they'd come back but with full health. Now they're trying to say like, hey, they won't disappear. Well, at least that's what it looks like. They're saying they won't disappear, and their health will not regenerate. Thank you. Thank you very much. But tell me what you guys thought about the trailer. Did you enjoy it? Are you excited? Are you as excited as I am to finally get my hands on it? Because it is so great that we finally have at least a year in which we're getting this game, 2018. And people did talk about this guy, Jose something. He tweeted about the fact that the game would come out in 2018 whether or not it's done, which scared a lot of people because they're like, yo, are we gonna get like half of a game, and then what's gonna happen? But I feel like they're gonna get it done. But it's just really good to know that we have a year that we're getting this game, because I did not want to wait until 2019. This game has been announced and just like shown all the time. It's too much. Give it to me right now, man. But tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you press that like button and share with your friends so that they can enjoy it too. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Facebook and Twitter so you can stay up to date on all my activities, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, or just random stuff to make you guys laugh, because you know that's what I'm here for. So hopefully I will see you guys next time. But until then, deuces.